We came to Alderleaf Wilderness College in Monroe to see what's inside a basic survival kit and how someone could use it to survive in the wilderness for days. Survival expert Jason Knight
So we have a first aid kit.
says having the gear is just one part of it.
Here's one of my favorite water filtration systems. It's basically, they call it a survival straw.
Staying alive depends on knowing how to use it.
I think every survival kit needs at least 2 ways of making fire. A couple other things. So navigation, so I always recommend bringing maps of the area you plan to be in, but regardless of where you go, a compass is key in understanding how to use it.
The search for Travis Decker, accused of killing his 3 young daughters, now stretches from the Enchantments to the North Cascades.
There's areas that are quite thick and brushy. There's obstacles, there's wild animals.
Decker's background as a former Army Ranger and skilled outdoorsman raises questions about how long he can survive in the wilderness.
Being with that, there's the military background, it's an even more complex layer of that.
Experts point to a guiding principle called the Rule of Threes.
You can survive, roughly 3 hours without a regulated body temperature before hypothermia can do you in, roughly 3 days without water before it becomes lethal, and roughly 3 weeks without food before starvation starts to become a problem.
Making it that long, even with training, isn't guaranteed.
There's the social isolation portion of it, the psychological aspect that can be difficult.
In terrain this vast and with skills like Decker's, survival is possible, but even for the most prepared, it gets harder with time.
Even the best survivalists struggle with getting enough of the right foods over the long term.
How long someone can last, that's the unanswered question. Experts here say a survival kit like we just showed you can go a long way if you know how to use it. Tonight, that $20,000 reward for the arrest of Decker still stands. Again, if you see him, do not approach, call 911. In Monroe, Bridget Chavez, King 5 News.